Welcome everybody to the IWC Night of Superstars 7 bonus attractions. My name is Joe Bobrowski as Meadville Gymnasium is quickly filling up. Home of the Meadville Bulldogs. This is always one of our favorite stops on the calendar year. Packed house each and every year. Legends and Hall of Famers abound. Drop the history of this event, which dates back to 2011. Kicking it off with tag team action. It is Dan Murphy. Of course, he's got File with him. His tag team partner, of course, is the Gavel, David Lawless. Lawless in order, kicking us off, and Lawless wants to talk.
Order in the Gavel's courtroom. Now, Lawless in order wanted to come out to start negative suspects. To tell all you criminals that you're all under arrest.
What?
Now I realize that most of you only know the lawyer that's appointed for you by the court, or the police officer that's going to pull you over after this show for driving while ugly. But tonight, the most lethal and legal tag team in IWC takes our opponents, the main event, and sends them back to the undercard. And you all know this will happen because Lawless and Order is flawless. You're welcome, morons.
Lawless is flawless. We'll put that to the test. A daunting task awaits. Lawless and Order about to be opposed by, in my opinion, the biggest test of their lives. Time known as Locked and Loaded, now called the main event. It's Duke Davis on your screen right now, and there's Ganon Jones Jr., Pro Wrestling's All-Star. Two men who've been in hot pursuit of IWC Tag Team Champions, the Fraternity, including a matchup recently at IWC 17, our 17th anniversary spectacular. But Ganon and Duke are looking to get back on that proverbial horse. They're looking to keep themselves in contention, and they're looking for a big victory here. Lawless and Order can put themselves on the map. The main event could solidify. Really, we already know. Great ovation. This duo thus far. And Lawless and Officer Dan from behind. This matchup underway quite impromptu. And Dan and Lawless collide. And Ganon and Duke making quick work of Lawless and Order in the early going, a tandem who really define the term abuse of power. Lawless grovels his way out of the courtroom. Officer Dan, the glorified mall cop, let's hug it out. And the main event. Wait a minute. Duke Davis! To the outside. He's about 6'6". And just leapt into action and decided to attempt to topple both Lawless and Order in one fell swoop, but Lawless and Dan stand on their feet for a boom, but Ganon flies! Ganon Jones Jr. about 6'5", at least 260 in his own right. Making the most of every pound he's got and every opportunity here in the Meadville debut of Locked and Loaded, or I should say the main event, as Officer Dan held up the leg of Ganon Jones Jr. Lawless, the cheap shot and suplexes Pro Wrestling's All-Star back into the ring. Lawless on top of Ganon, mounting with punches. Gotta wonder what's going through the mind of the main event at this point in time, as apparently an allegiance has been made between the fraternity and Justin LeBar. And it seems Wardlow as well. As Officer Dan, I guess, is going to wrestle with a whistle in his mouth. And he hurt his hand. So the skull of Ganon Jones Jr. but continues to press the advantage. And Officer Dan Murphy, a big man in his own right, attempting to fight back here. Main event have looked long odds in the face. Fraternity, the longest reigning cumulative tag team champions in IWC history, as Officer Dan Murphy with a gut wrench suplex into the cover. 2 count only. Main event unseated the fraternity in one of their 3 reigns, they being the fraternity. About the threat later on tonight as Lawless tagged back in. Lawless did pass the bar exam. He is a legal attorney. He can represent you. He's not busy chasing an ambulance. Nice side slam by Officer Dan, and Lawless down with a leg drop. And Lawless is a great athlete. I think Lawless is very underrated in my estimation as he hooks the leg and finds 2. I think Lawless is, as Duke Davis gets a bit upset, Lawless from behind, I think Lawless is just 1 or 2 big wins away from really being a big-time player here in this area. Ganon tries to fight his way back to his feet once again. Lawless, the reverse chin lock. Notice the wide stance, the base he has, making Ganon carry all of Lawless' body weight. A textbook chin lock, but Ganon turns inward, alleviates the pressure, begins to counter, and try to create some distance, but Lawless a handful of hair. Lawless is flawless. Oh, Ganon the drop kick. Ganon, such precision and such agility. Duke reaching for the tag. Can Ganon find his corner? Oh, he was there! But Lawless pulls Duke down into the guardrail. It's divide and conquer for Lawless and Order. The bending, if not outright breaking of the rules, allows this advantage to continue. Dan tagged back in, and the punishment on Pro Wrestling's All-Star persists. So Dan bad-mouthing and blowing that whistle. Oh, a chance to might get the air knocked out of him if Ganon Jones Jr. has an opportunity. Might shove that whistle all the way down his throat. Ganon to his feet now. You can see each blow having its effect as Murphy expels wind right into the whistle. And Officer Dan out on his feet now. He's got nothing going for him. Ganon winning this slugfest elevates. Officer Dan is about 6'5" in his own right. That Finley roll connects. And get it up with a moonsault. I don't know where Ganon pulled that out of, but I don't think he has much left. He's going to find Duke Davis, who is raring to get in there. Here comes Lawless. And here comes Duke Davis. Duke exploding with a clothesline. Shots for everybody and Murphy to the floor. Lawless tried to quicken the pace. Oh, but Duke caught him like a little baby. Made it look effortless. Follow-away slam. Duke Davis on top now. Could this be all near fall? Even Duke Davis was surprised. And that wasn't it as he measures Lawless, who wants nothing to do with this. Could be choke bomb time. Lawless elevated but Dan from behind. See if Officer Dan has a solution to turn this around in his file somewhere, as he seems to be pretty proud of his work on Duke Davis. Ganon back in the ring. I don't believe a tag was made on either side. Don't quote me on that at this point. This matchup is broken down as Dan sends Lawless in. Lawless in order double team backfires. Ganon the boot. Look at this. Ganon Jones. Dude, you're gonna fly. Somersault senton. Duke disposes of Officer Dan. It's Ganon and Lawless. One-on-one in the ring. And Duke. Oh, look at that! Elevated drop kick. Duke on top, the victory. Ganon Jones Jr. and Duke Davis are victorious in grand fashion here in Meadville, Pennsylvania. Look out for eternity. I don't care if you got LeBar or not. This team is on the hunt. Tag team gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest in the IWC Women's Division is set for one fall.
I don't have to tell you anything.
IWC's Women's Division on display. Not just a Women's Championship match later tonight, but also this contenders match. Featuring the bloody adorable one, Jinx. All smiles now, but she has a very sinister side as well. Let's make no mistake about that. Jinx bringing the aggression, bringing some fire, bringing some fury here to Meadville. She fares.
And her opponent.
She's got a chip on her shoulder, who we're about to see now.
Making her way to the ring, accompanied by her co-stars, the Ganon, Elijah Dean, and Hooven Couture. She comes to you straight from the red carpet, the queen of the silver screen, Katie Arquette.
So it's Calvin and Elijah now, as Katie Arquette's entourage continues to grow. Jinx seems a bit amused by it all, but Katie Arquette feels that she's the queen of the silver screen, and now the queen of IWC Wrestling as well. Please don't do that again, Calvin, or Elijah. We have a situation where Katie Arquette thought she won the Women's Championship a number of weeks ago at 17. However, the official ended up reversing the decision But it was proven that Katie, Arquette, and Elijah had concocted some nefarious circumstances behind the officials' back involving a distraction of champion Britt Baker that led to Katie Arquette striking Baker with her own women's championship. Arquette was irate. Arquette was incensed. I'm sure her relative, David Arquette, was upset as well. Wait.
Hold on. Here we go. Ready? Action.
Well, lights, camera, action. Here at Night of Superstars 7. Worth it. Oh, a kiss. A kiss for good luck. I'm not sure what the relationship is between Katie and anyone in her entourage. I do understand Calvin is her personal stylist and fashion consultant. Oh, look out. Jinx tries to jumpstart this matchup, and I don't blame her for being impatient, and Katie picks her spot. Jinx set for the ride now, able to tuck underneath. And Jinx has been kind of under the radar here in IWC over the past number of months. As Jinx looks to get the hip toss off. Rolls through, look out. Here's a attempt to trap the shoulders briefly, but still very early in this matchup. Katie now the roll up, traps Jinx for one or barely two. As both athletes back and forth, they train together at the Iron City Wrestling Academy, ICWA. They know each other very well. They never really gotten along. Always a culture clash there. A style clash, a personality clash. Anything you can pretty much imagine, it's clashed with these two. Katie Arquette came in the industry feeling she was better than everybody else because of her bit roles and her acting career. Jinx is used to kind of being ostracized and underappreciated and overlooked, and that's caused her to work even harder to get where she is today. And Calvin grabbing a leg, come on. A flagrant distraction. What's Calvin even doing here? Oh God, Jinx hit face first. Oh, that was a hard landing. And a group hug to celebrate, but I'm surprised if there's not a broken bone in the face of Jinx somewhere after the way she landed on that ring frame. Again, it's the hardest part of the wrestling ring. Metal meets wood. Jinx, I think, is out on her feet at this point in time. Reaches fourth. Hey, come on now! Did somebody kick Calvin out of the state of Pennsylvania? Katie now sends Jinx for the ride. Jinx puts the brakes on. Jinx has fought through a lot of pain in this matchup, but so too is that her life. Very conflicted, very unstable as Katie comes in with the hip attack. Go now, hip attack again. Jinx now lost her vertical base, but Katie a little bit low on the cover. The upper body of Jinx was exposed easily, allowing the kick out. You gotta wonder if the winner of this matchup will be able to challenge the winner of tonight's Britt Baker, Chelsea Green, aka Laurel Von Ness matchup. You see the only two Katie Arquette fans in the building, other than Katie herself. Jinx battling free. Look at the clothesline. Jinx gonna charge in. But Katie caught her in the recipient of a side slam. This'll do it. No. So Katie objecting to the count, but that's not going to get her anywhere. Jinx is a spitfire. She's got a lot of fight in her still. I'd love to see either one of these athletes have a shot at the Women's Championship as much as I detest Katie Arquette. Some would say she does have a gripe. She was Women's Champion for about a minute and a half until the decision was overturned. Jinx, I think, could surprise a lot of people with the right opportunity in her own right. As now Jinx firing away. Katie sent for the ride. And the bloody adorable one. Built some steam, and there's a panic at ringside as the entourage not sure what to do. Beautiful drop kick. Katie got hit right in the face. Those movie star looks may be in jeopardy. And Jinx sent into the corner. Got the elbow up that time. Katie, paranoid about that face being rearranged, but Jinx adjusts. That running bulldog, Jinx is going to do it. And Calvin. That's Jinx's pet maneuver she's been working on since day one. She had this matchup sewn up until Calvin and Elijah got involved, and now they're out of here. Good riddance. Jinx couldn't be happier, but she's got to keep her focus. Here comes Katie. Nobody there in the corner. And Jinx now with a body scissors. Oh, wait a second. I think just Calvin got kicked out. He was the one that got caught. And now Elijah, the recipient. Elijah tried to hang on to Jinx. And she took him over with the head scissors. I love it. Jinx is fighting the world and coming out ahead. Oh, and Katie able to manipulate the situation, send Jinx off balance. What is this? And the second turnbuckle, they're way up there. Following slam. Katie Arquette picks up the victory. Oh, great, Calvin's back. Let's all celebrate because Calvin's back. And Elijah with that ridiculous crop top, or whatever the hell you call it. Cut, says Calvin. That's a wrap. What an obnoxious trio. And yeah, Katie Arquette was almost the IWC Women's Champion. And she may be again, especially if Britt Baker or Chelsea Green go into 3-on-1 odds like Jinx had to. Katie Arquette could be the queen of the IWC Women's Division once again before it's all said and done. We've seen the country hammer Jameson in pursuit of the IWC High Stakes Championship in recent months, and we know he's one of the most explosive athletes out there. He is all power. He is in your face. He has no frills. He has no problem getting into a fist fight. He has no problem taking a risk in the air. We've seen in the past, Jameson could be the sleeper hit of IWC as we move forward. We'll see if he can build some momentum here tonight in this special pre-show matchup, Night of Superstars 7. I'm Joe Dombrowski, happy to be with you. Let's meet the opponent.
Introducing a proud alum of University, he weighed at 206 pounds,
Well, Dan Hooven, a one-time IWC ringside photographer, turned into a competitor was nearly a tag team champion once upon a time. Can you imagine if Dan Hooven could become high-stakes champion? Could you imagine that Cinderella story? Could you imagine that dream coming true in front of a rapidly growing packed crowd here in Meadville as they continue to file in as we count down to the start of our main show at the top of the hour? But high stakes, pun intended, on the line here. Even our pre-shows, even our bonus matches are can't-miss events. Any single time an IWC event happens. And this one's going to be absolutely unpredictable.
Introducing at 165 pounds, he's the leader of the sexy, talented dudes, Flexor.
Old Chesterfield, Chest Flexor, had a great time inducting honorary member of the STDs, Gilbert, who won the high stakes championship, but Gilbert was soundly defeated by Marshall the Bull for that championship because Marshall was #1 contender. Could cash in that title shot anytime he chose. He chose to do it after the matchup between Gilbert and James Ellsworth. Ellsworth beat Gilbert, I should say. Marshall beat Ellsworth. But Flexor, none too happy that Marshall was the hired protection of James Ellsworth and played a big part in Gilbert losing that championship. Could be some revenge, maybe some revengeance, dare I say, on behalf of the STDs.
He weighed in at 187 pounds, the cruiserweight horror story, Draven.
Cruiserweight horror story. I know him as Omega. Aaron Draven, a bit of a darker outlook on life in recent times. We'll see if that extra mean streak and killer instinct could lead Draven to championship gold. Draven's always been a risk taker. He's always lived the high stakes mantra. He'll put his body on the line for a victory, for an opportunity. He has no problem taking risks that maybe doctors think he shouldn't.
From the concrete jungle of New York City, he weighed in at 260 pounds, Mr. Fresh to Death, Pretty Boy Smooth.
Mr. Fresh Death, Pretty Boy Smooth, the 7-foot savage. You can call him anything you want, but he is without a doubt the most physically imposing athlete in this particular matchup, and he is without a doubt on paper, in my estimation, one of the odds-on favorite, a one-time tag team competitor who's recently seeked out singles success. What a way to cap off that journey. PB Smooth is successful here in this, I'm not sure if you can call it a scramble. Maybe this will turn into a massacre with these individuals involved. This is going to be unique to watch, to say at the least unpredictable.
And their opponent, weighing in at 253 pounds, he is the current IWC High Stakes Champion, Marshall the Bull Gambino.
Marshall the Bull is in great shape. Marshall the Bull is focused. Marshall the Bull is always a fan of hurting people, and he's got 5 potential victims here as we've rounded out the field of 6. Marshall's first singles championship in his...
Now, ladies and gentlemen, per tradition of the IWC High Stakes Championship, the current champion gets to choose the stipulation. Marshall, what is the stipulation?
This will be dangerous.
Per Marshall the Bull, he says not that any of you deserve it, but the match will be anything goes, no holds barred.
Oh, and that's certainly not surprising at all to me. Marshall the Bull thrives best in a street fight mentality. The less law there is, the more at home he feels. And here we go now. I think everybody's realized what I had surmised, that Pretty Boy Smooth, most physically imposing athlete, and you're going to see no fear from Aaron Draven, the horror story, but it's Hooven who takes Draven down. Just Flexor now with Anita Hooven. Jameson and Marshall, Flexor in trouble here. No STDs at ringside, but Jameson and Marshall had a successful partnership last year. We'll see if that lasts in this matchup. Marshall thinks he's outsmarted everybody, but Jameson taking it to his one-time mentor. This matchup, as Jameson tries to drop out of that jawbreaker, Hooven still got part of it. Come through the double knees, nicely done. Aaron Draven now. Oh, with a jumping Itsugiri kick. And Pretty Boy Smooth back in. The largest and the smallest in this matchup. Oh my God, Pretty Boy Smooth palmed the skull of Aaron Draven and just dropped him with reckless abandon. And Flexor, I think Hooven dragging Flexor out of the ring was the best favor you could have done for him. And now Marshall and Jami, moments after striking one another, strange bedfellows, they want to get Pretty Boy Smooth neutralized, but here comes Hooven. Series of cutters for everybody. Aaron Draven with a missile drop kick. It is action personified all over Meadville right now. High stakes championship on the line in this what I believe to be and assumed to be a one-fall matchup. Aaron Draven looking for that Spanish fly. Oh, couldn't get it. Hooven had countered, but Draven suplexed him and held on. Draven from up high. Moonsault. He got it up of Hooven to break his fall, but couldn't put him away. Flexor able to break things up. Smooth and Jami, these are a couple heavy hitters on the outside. Hooven attempted a third cutter, and Flexor slipped free. You can't win unless you're in the ring. Flexor went to go suicide dive, caught himself when everybody ducked, but got a right hand for his troubles. Hooven now maybe looking to take a chance. With victims below, Hooven launches himself. And part of the covering is coming up at ringside. You can see that's unprotected wood flooring these athletes are landing on as PB Smooth misses a charge of Draven. I've seen Draven do this before. We'll talk about high octane, throwing caution to the wind. Wait a minute. No! Draven decided to get 4 for the price of 1. And in midstream made an adjustment. Unbelievable. Pretty Boy Smooth, he's sick of playing games. He's going to capitalize, trying to pin the champion here. And keep in mind, in a matchup like this, you don't need to pin the champion to win the title. It's one fall. If Smooth pinned Draven, if he pinned Jami, if he pinned anybody, he would win Marshall's High Stakes Championship. That's the danger of a 6-man scramble. See, the action persists. It's an absolute slugfest. With all the athletes involved. Smooth breaks through the clothesline and takes down Marshall and Jami. Hooven and Flexor get it. Oh, wait, Draven's going to take a chance. Oh, and Smooth hangs up Draven. On the top of, and Smooth didn't even have to leave his feet. This 7-foot behemoth can do so much damage on his. Oh no! Are you kidding me? Springboard back elbow. Smooth is feeling it. Draven. Look out. Oh. That takedown with the leg, which is almost the size of Draven's body, got a near fall. Marshall, again, attempting to protect his investment here, so to speak. But Smooth, oh, nobody there. Inadvertently hung himself up, and Marshall disposes of him. Marshall looking for his next victim. It's Flexor. Oh, into the corner. Draven with the double knees. Draven looking for that Spanish fly again. No, maybe not. Oh, yeah, he is. I believe he calls this Omega Death. Oh! And the horror story gives Flexor a scare he'll never forget. But Marshall takes Draven 6 inches from hell. Oh, I thought that would be it. And Marshall certainly seemed to think that way as well. And with the no disqualification rules in place, Marshall has free reign to do whatever he pleases with that solid steel chair. But again, you got to have your eyes in the back of your head. Jameson, he's not saving anybody else. He just wanted the weapon for himself. But Marshall downstairs. Oh, Jameson right in the... That was right in the shoulder, I think. Jameson got rocked. Flexor trying to get the chair. He does. Oh, and Flexor aiming for Marshall. And caught Aaron Draven. And Marshall sends the chair into Flexor's skull. Marshall gonna pin Draven off of Flexor's work. And Marshall retains the championship. This matchup was absolutely all over the building. 6 very diverse personalities, all of whom wanted to be the high-stakes champion. Marshall the Bull set the rules, set the parameters. As a result, he's in his own playground, so to speak. No rules, still the champion. Marshall the Bull, his first singles title in his IWC career. He'll lead with title intact, surviving the 6-way scramble. And a lasting message especially to Chest Flexor, who wanted so badly to win this match on behalf of Gilbert, on behalf of the rest of the STDs, who Marshall has bullied, especially Flexor, so many years. In the IWC history books, even dating back to as members of the Gambino family a decade ago. But Marshall leaves high-stakes champion here in Meadville, night of Superstar 7. Let's get started.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.